Hello and welcome to my home. If you're new here, my name's Karen. Today I'm going to teach you how to make this beautiful and very easy daisy wreath. This video is in collab with Heidi Sonboul. I'll have her channel linked in my description box below. There's an entire playlist of amazing crafts you'll want to check out. I'll have that linked in my description box as well. Now let's get started. For supplies, you're going to need either a 10-inch or 12-inch wire wreath. I used a 12-inch, but you'll see a 10-inch might be better. White pipe cleaners, 11-inch wide plastic mesh or burlap. I used green, white, and yellow. You'll need 8-inch zip ties, strong scissors or wire cutters, and a glue gun. First, you're going to cut your mesh into 16-inch strips. I used 12 of the green and 24 of the white, and weight on the yellow, we'll talk about that later. I wasn't too worried about getting this exactly right because leaves and petals on a flower are not all the same size, but I'm just generally getting it in 17-inch strips, but you could always use a rotary cutter and a cutting mat if that's your preference. I'm getting out my pipe cleaner and I'm getting the first piece of green mesh. I'm pulling it out. It's 16 inches wide now, and by the width, I'm just squishing it together. And then I'm going to secure it with the pipe cleaner. Just put the pipe cleaner around it in the middle and give it a twist. I'm using my pipe cleaner and I'm attaching this first leaf petal to the most outer rim of the wreath on each joint. Now take a piece of the white, scrunch it together just like you did with the green. I'm trimming off any little pieces of plastic that have poked out and are stray. And I'm going to be attaching this to the white pipe cleaner, but I'm also going to be taking a second white piece and I'm going to be attaching both of them to that original green piece I already put down with the pipe cleaner that I used for that green piece. So you see me doing the first one, and then I'm going to put down the second one, and then I'm going to be pushing the white pipe cleaner through to the back of the wreath. Once I bring those two ends of the pipe cleaner to the back of the wreath, I just give it a twist. The front of the wreath should look like this. Now I'm going to complete that process on every joint, and there's 6 joints to this wreath. Next, I'm going to do another row of the same on the 3rd wire down on the wreath, but this time between the 2 joints, as you see with my arrow. I'd like to welcome those who are new to my channel. Here you'll not only find DIYs, but you'll also find cleaning videos and cooking videos and many things that help you around the house, including encouraging messages wrapped in each and every video. If that's something that you're interested in, I hope you'll consider subscribing and joining this positive community. Now it's time for the yellow, which will make the center of the daisy. I'm again cutting these in 16-inch strips, and I'm not getting too worried that they're perfect. I decided to cut my mesh one piece at a time because I did not know how many pieces it would take to fill the whole of my wreath. This part's a little tricky because it's mesh and you're trying not to burn yourself. So on the seam, I'm making a little glue dot with my hot glue, and I'm folding it over so that it's a square, as you can see. Starting at the top of where I folded it, I'm going to start rolling it over, and I'm going to go as tight as I can with my roll. It's pretty impossible to roll tightly all the way to the edge, so I'm just doing my best. When I get to the end, I'm just gluing it down to my mesh roll. I'm securing the edges the best I can with my glue gun. Now I'm going to turn it like it's a rope, and I'm going to roll it tightly together, as you can see. I'm using my hot glue gun as I go, so that as I roll, it's getting glued together. I don't do every spot. You definitely could do that if you'd like. When I get to the end, I definitely glue that end down. And it should look just like this. Now I'm just going to repeat the process of cutting, rolling my mesh. This time I'm going to use my mesh rope to start where I stopped on the first roll, and I'm going to glue down the edge, and I'm just going to keep rolling to make my wheel-like center of the flower bigger and bigger. Gluing as I roll, and then I am gluing it at the end, and I did pick out which side looked better, and that will be my front. And then I tried to always make that front look the best, because you find that you have some frayed edges, but you have an edge that's a little easier to keep rolled, and so that is my front. I'm going to keep continuing that process until my center is big enough to fit inside my wreath, and I just keep trying it to see how it's going. I also found that when I got to the end, because I chose a 12-inch wreath, I would recommend a 10-inch. Because I chose a 12-inch wreath, when I got to the end, I would need 2 of those mesh ropes to make it all the way around the circle. If you know someone else who might enjoy making this daisy wreath, I hope you'll consider sharing this video on your social media platforms. Now I'm setting it into the front of my wreath. Honestly, I think it would have stayed there without even being secured, but I am going to secure it with the zip ties. Once it's all set in, I'm flipping that over, and I did notice that there was a part in the middle that was falling apart, and so if that happens to you, if part of your yellow circle kind of comes apart, all you need to do is re-secure it with some glue. I'm taking my zip ties and I'm just going to feed it through the edge of my yellow, and I'm purposely going at the joints. So I'm feeding the zip tie into one side of the joint and feeding it out the other side of the joint just to help it stay all that more secure and hopefully not to slip around, because I'm putting this outside. It might get bopped around by the wind. Now that I've secured the center with my zip ties, I'm just going to trim them, and I'm leaving 2 or 3 inches on each of the zip ties. Now I'm just fluffing it around so that it looks the way I want it to. In general, I wanted the green to look like it was more in the back and the white to look like it was more in the front. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this beautiful daisy wreath. Let me know in the comment section below if you're going to give it a try. Special thanks to Heidi Sonboul for hosting this collab. I'll again have her channel and the full playlist listed in my description box below. You should be seeing my channel welcome video coming up now, as well as my DIY playlist, so that you can keep on watching. Thanks so much. Remember, God loves you and I love you too, and I'll see you next time.